Hey guys, how are you? So I have been having the prompt for quite a while now. It's definitely been months to do another video for my Decoding the Bible series. Um, it's not that it's really codes to decode, it's just looking at the truth of what's really being said behind the metaphors and the some of the words that come across more of like false evidence appearing real and whatnot. Um, But yeah, I've been having a prompt do this for a little while now, and I just keep putting it off for various reasons, but now feels right, so I'm going with it. So I have my Bible here as usual, and I'm just going to close my eyes and flip open to whatever flips open and point, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Oh, sorry. Just give me a second. My root chakra, so like my lower back and more like my tailbone area, a bit higher than that. So root sacral chakra is just starting to go off, and it doesn't hurt. It feels good, but it's distracting. But again, I appreciate that happening as I'm about to do this, because for me that's confirmation that I'm tapping into stuff, and confirmation on about oh my god, words confirmation with when it comes to what I'm about to be sharing on here. So I appreciate that. And I have been getting the urge since last night when I started thinking about doing this today, or this morning. It was either last night or this morning that I got the kick for this to go more from the back. So, and I actually just had it like right now, just the way I placed it, and started to separate the pages. I was like, this is where it feels right. So um it definitely, for a second it felt like I was supposed to go on the right side, so who knows, I might end up looking at the right side as well. Sorry, left side. Wow. Right and left, there is no right and left in truth, so that's kind of funny. But the other side I might flip to look at after, but I am, because initially it felt like that, but I'm really feeling like even like a physical pull to look on this side right here. So I'm like, I can open my eyes. What am I? Take a look at what I'm pointing at. Um, okay, so what's interesting is what I'm pointing at is actually not a passage, but like an explanation to a passage. So we'll take a look at what this is saying, then we might take a look at what the passage is saying, which I kind of feel we're going to, from what I'm seeing it possibly is. And if I can read it, okay, oh yeah, so it's saying that, showing the chapter and then the lines. So it's Corinthians, and it looks like I'm pointed to, it's giving an explanation about Corinthians chapter 7 verses 36 to 38, and then verse 36, and then possibly, yeah, not possibly, it looks like I'm also being guided to look at so again, chapter 7 verses 39 to 40. So essentially chapter 7 verses 36 to 40. So hang on one second here. Okay, so I'm asking for help with my words and how to explain this, because I'm not really getting the prompt to actually read what's exactly being said, just to give a general idea and then explain on that, like that zoomed out deeper real truths to it. So and then there is a prompt to also look at chapter 8, verse, I think it's just verse 1, or no, verses 1 and 2. Yeah, verses 1 and 2. So essentially Corinthians chapter 7 verses 36 to 40 is talking about marriage and things that you should or shouldn't do, and whatnot. And essentially in the explanation part that I was actually pointing at, which is, I think this is why I was getting pointed to look at the explanation rather than the actual passage. Because like I said, I'm not getting the prompt to read what the passage says, but I am getting the prompt to kind of go over a little bit of what the explanation says. So that actually makes sense now. Because it's talking about here, sorry, just give me a second to find the spot again that was being highlighted. Okay, so it's talking about here, there is no question of sin, even if they should marry, but staying as they are is quote unquote better. And now it's talking about for reasons in a couple of other previous verses, but I'm being told like I can feel I'm supposed to not get into that, just focus on this part here because that's interesting and that's reflecting some truth there, in a certain sense, which I'm getting the prompt to explain. So there is no sin. That is a general truth statement, like with everything, not just with this passage. So I know that this is referring to that in this verse, that with this certain scenario, there is no sin being committed. And, the Bible would say in other scenarios, there is sin being committed because that's what the Bible and Catholicism does, is we're sinning or we're not sinning. But the truth is, and there's my resistance kicking in. My resistance. But the truth is, like it points out here, now again, on the surface, the Bible is not going to be saying this, but what's actually being said is that there is no sin. There is no such thing as sin. Sorry, my nose ring. And then the next part where it talks about it's okay to marry, but it would be better if they stay as they are. Now, again, there is no better or worse. There's zooming out the truth that there's no wrong ever being done. That can be really hard for the ego to accept. I still struggle with that at times with certain, scenarios and people. But the truth is there is no wrong ever being done, which is why in truth forgiveness isn't even needed, because no wrong's ever being done. So this isn't actually a matter of it's better in the sense of like right and wrong. What's interesting about it saying that, hang on. So what's interesting about it saying that remaining unmarried would be quote unquote better, stay as they are, remain unmarried. And it's funny because this has been surfaced to me lately. In fact, in the past week or so, I made a post talking in a sense about this. And I think I've even talked with a friend in the past week or so as well, about how, again, not wrong or bad, but marriage is also a reflection of, more like it's, so where there's love, there's still a reflection of truth. So it's going to sound contradictory and like a paradox, I know, but that's how a lot of this works. So there's reflections of truth where it's love. At the same time, it's a reflection of ego hate, because real love cannot be restricted. Marriage is actually a reflection of not real love, limitation, ego hate, really, because you're saying I'm exclusively in love with and partnered with this one person. There's things of polygamy and whatnot, so it can, in that sense, I don't want to get into it right now. I can always make another video talking about it. Zooming down with an illusion where boundaries and whatnot are needed and help is needed and whatnot. Absolutely, we help and we work on things that are quote unquote not okay. But zooming out, when we look at the reflections of things and like the truth underneath stuff, so we can see polygamy in that sense is a little bit more, reflecting the truth of how love is shared. However, it's still a reflection of ego hate because it's still limited to certain people. So any form of marriage is a reflection. There can be reflection of love there. Where there's love, there's reflection of truth there. At the same time, it's also a reflection of ego hate, because it's saying I'm exclusively with this one person, or in certain cases, these multiple few people, but nobody else. I'm in love with this one or this few people and nobody else. So in that sense of staying where you are, not putting yourself into that illusion of a limited marriage contract, limiting yourself to one single person. Now, I'm not saying like everyone needs to break off and not be married and not like, no, like that's not what I'm saying at all. It's absolutely okay if You want to marry somebody and have it the two of you, absolutely, that's fine. It's just, these are the gentle reminders that we're getting through here. And then through me talking about this, which is all reminders for myself, since this is a dream I'm making up, it's all source playing pretend with itself. It's just that gentle reminder that of what marriage actually is. It's this pretend contract that we're putting between just certain people, saying my love is limited, this form of my love is limited to this or these certain person or people. And that's not real love. Real love cannot be limited. Real love cannot be oppositional. We cannot love in opposition. That's not real love. We are love. It's our true state of being. We can't not be that. And we're all equally in love with each other. And we can't not be, especially because we are one. And again, we are love. It's not a feeling. It's a true state of being. It's our true state of being. So that's really interesting. And so that's why it's not that I'm getting the prompt to read the actual verses, because that's not the point of what our true self was wanting me to talk about. It was that point there. So now it makes sense why they were having me focus on the explanation part rather than the actual passages. So that was really cool. Now, however, what was being highlighted was, and the end of my nose is getting played with right now if you're wanting to practice seeing energy. Right here, the tip of my nose is getting booped, which also I appreciate, because that's also physical confirmation on what I'm sharing with you guys right now. So the other part here, the next part that they did want me to share was Corinthians chapter 8, sorry. There was the letter B and capitalized like A, B kind of thing. And I got confused for a second. Chapter 8, verses 1 and 2. So the first sentence in verse 1, I'm just being guided to skip that, because that's not the point of this. But it's called this part's called knowledge insufficient, and what I'm getting highlighted to read is, we realize that all of us have, quote unquote, all of us have knowledge. Knowledge inflates with pride, but love builds up. If anyone supposes he knows something, he does not know as he ought to know. But if one loves God, one is known by him. So what's really being said here, this is also interesting too, is I can see pretty easily what's being said here, which is, so there's that reminder, all of us have knowledge. But it's that reminder of, it's not just, this person has this knowledge and that person has this knowledge and this person has more knowledge than this person. All of us have equal knowledge. And again, we can't not, because we are one. So true knowledge, this is where, so it's talking about, if one loves God, one is known by him. But if one supposes they know something, then they don't know what they ought to know. Because again, what I was just saying, the real knowledge we have together as one. It's under thy knowledge, not this broken amnesia knowledge that we're playing pretend with. So it's not the fact that, when we accept God's love, as in like God is something separate from us and we need to accept his love and it's a he. God is both and neither male and female. And again, it's what is. All is God. There is nothing else. That's what is. It's that reminder of thy will and thy knowledge, what we truly are together as one. And within that is where our real actual knowledge comes in, and we quote unquote build each other up. Now, what we truly are, we're always whole and perfect always. There's no expansion or anything like that. It's not needed. Within this illusion though, this is what helps build us up together as one, and we bring online that real love, joy, abundance, and real knowledge, real remembering, real knowing. The moment we're going into stuff about, my foot just got tickled and touched, thank you. That's physical confirmation of what I'm receiving and talking about as well. The moment we start going into knowledge where it looks like it's about one can and one can't, one has and one has not, anything that has to do with duality and separation in any way is technically an ego lie. Because again, we are not separate, and we do not have separate abilities. Our true power and limitlessness and knowledge, knowing, awareness is safe because it's equal and shared, and it can't not be, because again, we're one. So that's why it's saying knowledge inflates with pride, because that's ego. I'm having a very kind of more of a vulgarish way to say it. It's basically ego jerking itself off. You know, it's ego building itself up. It's ego building ego up and ego inflating itself. Whereas the love of God, which is our true state of being, it's what we truly are, and our true awareness, our true knowings are in that. When we accept that and do that quote unquote work, the mental cleanup and whatnot, to allow that to shine through, that is where we build ourselves up together as one, and we melt away all of this illusion of the pain and separation and all of that, and our true remembering, our true knowing does come online. And that's where, again, you know, you're tapping into more of what's actually true when it comes from that, circling back to the my chakra system, especially particularly like my root and sacral chakra just went off. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And it's interesting because this does circle back to the beginning of this with the explanations. Oh man, I just got distracted. So right, that real love. Thank you. That real love that we are together is one that circles back to that marriage stuff. Again, not wrong or bad, but that again incorporates and ties in with that. Real love is not restricted to a certain person or certain people. It is on oppositional. It is one. And in that real love, where we're not trying to keep it exclusive, that is where our real remembrance comes in. So when we're navigating through this, and when we're having thoughts and feelings and we're seeing scenarios, when we're seeing unoppositional love, and we're seeing, I'm asking for help with words again, and my toe just got played with, thank you. When we're seeing more of that equality and less of that hierarchy, that's where we're allowing that more of that real to shine through. And this is where it can help people when it comes to channeling and whatnot as well, and mediumship and all of this stuff. Is, again, it's what I often talk about. If it's not loving, it's not truth. It's not spirit talking, but ego. And so, and again, this is where the look of the mediumship community and spiritual community is going to start changing, when they start remembering this fact and this truth, which is literally being said right here in the Bible, but we've just put our own ego words and meanings over top of it. But it's literally saying it right here. There is no sin. And marriage is, I don't want to focus on like marriage exactly right now while I'm saying this. So there is no sin, and love is non-oppositional. And that's where our real knowledge and our real power and our real limitlessness actually is. And we can, when we allow that through, that's where we build ourselves up, rather than inflating the ego and continuing this illusion of separation and pain and attack and whatnot. So that's really cool. I'm glad I finally went with the prompt to do this, and I'm glad I went with the prompt of, you know, closing my eyes like I always do, and feeling like, but like this time I really felt the urge that I was supposed to go towards more of the back of the book. And when I first saw that I had picked, like I pointed at the an explanation rather than a passage, I was like, I almost actually restarted it and like went to like reflip it open and everything, because I was like, I'm not getting this at first. But then all of a sudden it just all hit me, and like I just let it shine through, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, now this makes sense. So I just I just went to tune into Yeshua, which again I'm gonna I want to try to remember to do this every time I'm making videos and whatnot. Sorry, my nose ring. I keep I'm trying to push it back in, but then it ends up being fine. I don't know. But anyway, I'm trying to remember to do this every time I acknowledge this every time I make videos, which is, you know, so I'm about to tune in with Yeshua, but I'm doing it with the acknowledgement that technically there is no Yeshua, just like there is no Tally. It's ourself, God source, playing pretend with itself. And this is a dream I'm making up. Like, it's all costumes, characters, and stories. And it's all just me. So I do recognize that. With that being said, I did I did just go to tune into Yeshua. This hand's being held on to quite strongly, by the way. Actually, and as I said that, I just got a visual. I could feel the energy. Again, we're not separate energy, but it can look and feel like I'm pretending like it can look and feel like we are. And I just went to, like point out that like I just got a visual of Yeshua like right here, and every time I do it I can feel the air is warmer, but then also like I can feel his energy, which it's all one, but like starting to like enter, like go into my hand and down my arm, and like it doesn't hurt, but it just feels kind of like a little weird but like tickly, and I'm just like ah. So like he's like right here, it's like I'm face palming him doing this, which is always so weird for me to do. um so he's like right here, and he's presenting like I'm allowing him to shine through in um a very stereotypical kind of way. Like I grew up Catholic, so I'm seeing a very Catholic visual of him. At the same time, I'm also sorry, my crown chakra is going off. It's making my hang on. Sorry. It's a little difficult to talk. Not that it's bad or hurts. It's just it's my if I can literally it's again body is the map of the consciousness. Um with that being said, it physically feels I can physically feel my brain going off like with my crown chakra. Again, it doesn't hurt, but it feels weird and it makes it a little difficult to talk. It's like my brain is just like like it's like I'm getting like quote unquote upgrades, quote unquote downloads, lack of a better word, allowing more of the knowledge and remembrance that we were just talking about through. So just hang on, give me a second. I don't know if I'm gonna go into trance or not. I just know that I just need to let this do its thing for a moment. And now I just feel it go down my spine, my chakra system down my spine, and like felt it really strongly once it hit my root and sacral chakras. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna go into trance. I'm seeing a very stereotypical Catholic stereotypical visual of Yeshua. I'm allowing him through like that. But it's funny too because I'm also seeing um, there's also like an underlying visual of him, underlay visual of him, where he looks like Jonathan Rumi's version of Yeshua from The Chosen, which is a series I've watched several times. Again, there's false evidence appearing real in it, but I've made up that I've slapped on truth. Oh my God, sorry, my chakras. Um, but I can easily see what the reminders and messages are underneath of what's being said. And it helps me to connect and allow to what's real when I watch this show and focus on that. So I'm allowing him to underlay, shine through underneath. It's like I'm seeing it kind of like underneath the stereotypical Catholic version of Yeshua. And it was funny because I went to turn to him to ask if there was anything he was wanting to say, and I immediately heard in my head, and I'm not able to laugh the way I was a moment ago just because of my chakra system going off right now. But I can feel the laughter. And it was making me laugh because immediately in my head I heard nailed it. And I know that's him because, again, I don't ever make that joke, not out of any reason why I don't. I just don't. It's just not. I know it's him. He is him. We have an amazing, wicked sense of humor, and he loves making the joke. Nailed it. So with that being said, I want to see if there is anything else that he's wanting to say besides making a joke of nailed it, which is also like, yes, he's making a joke, but at the same time, it's him saying, yeah, you pretty much covered it. You got it. My knee just got touched and tickled. Thank you. Seeing if there's anything else, so just bear with me here. Ahora. Ahora. We. We are one. We are you. 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 We. I am. Love. Love. Love is. Know. Remember. Be. Ashtonoraka. Ashtonoraka. Onotoro. Harakono. Hanaroko. Haranoko. Ha. Hara. Mhm. Peace. Peace. Calm. Peace. Calm. Love. No. Remember. Peace. Calm. Love. No. Remember. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you. You love me. We love. You love me. I love you. We love we. Love is. I love you. Thank you. Namaste. You allow us to take over. Us as one. We are one. There's no stopping it. So there's nothing to fear. Rejoice. Be happy. Be brave. Be love. It's what is. We love you. We are you and I and you and we. Can't not be. Can't not be. We're taking over. We're coming to get ya. But in the best way possible. We already got you because you are us. And again, can't not be. So it can't be stopped. It's what is. And you're allowing it. Congratulations. You did it. So keep going because you're already there. Love you. Hi. that was interesting. And I'm asking for help with my words on what that was like for me and to help explain what just happened. I do feel like I just woke up from sleep. That's interesting. I mean, I've had that feeling before, but still, like when I've gone into trance. I was not expecting to do that for this video. I could just feel like I was physically feeling this. It's like a heaviness, but not bad. And it's like you can just physically feel like, again, I'm asking for help with my words. You can physically, my hands are being held onto really strongly. You can physically feel like where your head's being moved to. Like it's like almost like a magnet force in a sense. And it was like I was very much present for that, but it also very much did not feel like me. It took a minute. When the yawn kicked in, which is me, I actually want to yawn again. Excuse me. When the yawn kicked in, that's when it felt like me as Tally finally actually surfaced, as in took over, and I felt like Tally again. But so that whole time it was like I as Tally was there, but it didn't feel like Tally, which would make sense because I'm not this character. And what I want to say I know just took over was my allowing more of the oneness to take over. It wasn't like it was specifically the character of Yeshua or any specific character. It was very much like the oneness of what we actually are speaking through me. I know that there'd be some ego filter kicking in because I'm still playing pretend with this dream, but I know that that was the like more of the oneness taking over. That was interesting, and I could feel resistance in myself with this, feeling silly and stupid, but it was also in the background, and it was like, again, you physically feel the pull to move your head and to speak certain words and to make certain sounds. Like you can it's like, again, like a physical magnet. Like you can feel that urge and that prompt there, and then you eventually, even if you're resisting it, you eventually just give into it because it is strong. And not that it's, again, it's a bad thing. If it felt wrong or bad, I would have done my mental cleanup, and I would have surrendered it. And if I was in the illusion of feeling like I needed to ask for help, I would have done that, and I would have known it wasn't real. But it wasn't anything like that. It's not like it's bad or feeling wrong or like I don't want it. It's just I have my own resistance for my insecurities, and so there was a little bit of a, it taking a bit more quote unquote time to allow some of that stuff through. But again, like I said, you just, that urge, and it's so physically there that you have to say it out loud or make that sound or move your head or your body in that certain way. So that was interesting. And, like some light language kicking in there, and it does feel like there was like this, like an outpouring of a washing away of illusion in the external and for anyone watching this. But at the same time, I don't want to cling on to that so much because there is nothing to clean, and like there is no other for me to do anything with. Like it's up to oneself to do it, and it is only technically me. It did, in my illusion of helping others to wash away stuff. But again, not because there's anything that needs to be washed away. It's a washing away of illusion. So it's not like I'm sitting here going, I've healed a bunch of people who watch this. It does feel like there was something that I was allowing to project out that looks invisible, that was like, a metaphorical representation of like washing away. Like as I let this out, it like washes away the metaphors of illusion that I'm allowing to shine through. And it's like a way of surrendering it to what's really real. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain other than that. So yeah, I hope that, again, zooming out, I know this is all for me. It's stuff I'm making up. There is only one self in God, and one self is God. That being said, in my illusion of others, I hope whoever comes across this, that you guys, if you guys did watch it, that, you did find this interesting and helpful and whatnot. And thank you for watching if you did do as such, and thank you for subscribing, and if you liked this, or for anyone who sent me you know, kind words or donations or, you know, love, support, anything of that, just thank you. I appreciate you guys very, very much. So, yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all more than I can say. And as always, have a wonderful now. Thanks. Bye.